Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing okay. We're having some technical difficulties out here tonight.
But we're working through it.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about traditions today.
We
night,
are.
Evening.
But you're going to bless the people first, aren't you?
So, motherfuckers, this is my rant.
Yes.
I don't know why I have to say it. I don't know why it has to be said. Turn your motherfucking phones off during movies.
Please.
Don't take your children to movies.
No.
I know that's a controversial one. Your children don't belong in movies.
Kids' movies, they do.
Okay, whatever. I don't go to kids' movies.
I know.
Halloween 2018, rated R. Your children do not need to be playing in the movie theater.
Correct.
You also do not need to be coming down from a small town north of the town that we live in currently and bring your drunk ass and all 6 of your friends to sit
One
there.
of whom was wearing
The
at
worst
least half a bottle of perfume.
I mean, just the worst people possible
Worst.
in the movie theater today.
I actually think the bitch who had the phone on like light notification was also the one with the horrible perfume. That,
she was also the one that was more into the movie than anybody else. She was literally on the edge of her seat. I don't know if you saw that or not. Through her horrible braided hair.
I did not see
brutally bleached blonde hair.
I mean, she had it all done up like she had gone to like homecoming dance night.
They went to dinner. She had her dinner in her hands. She looked like she went to Buffalo Wild Wings. If Buffalo Wild Wings would like to sponsor our show, we're looking for sponsors. Love you, B-dubs.
Love.
I don't know. I'm not going to get on that big of a rant.
They ruined all our good horror.
Like I said, if today would have been a day where they said, hey, Bob, you get to murder anybody you want today, it would have been on.
Yeah.
And if I could have, I don't know, if me 30 years ago that would have happened to, I probably would have thrown shit at him.
Really?
But I'm an adult now.
Okay.
And I realize that any mess that I make in the movie theater, some 17-year-old kid's got to clean up. So I'm not going to put that on that kid.
So you contain your rage.
I contained my rage. I didn't even call them names. I did try to talk loud enough to where they could hear me talking about them, but they were too drunk.
They were,
in
yeah,
their
they
world.
didn't hear any of that.
And if you happen on this podcast and you're one of those 6 people, I do hope that a flame, I'm going to do my impression from Clue.
Okay.
Flames from the side of my
Yes.
face. No, a flaming 18-wheeler rolls through your house, murdering your entire family. God bless you on Christmas. That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
And the microphone hit my teeth if you guys didn't hear that. Anyway, we're talking about traditions.
We are.
Halloween traditions.
True. I'm sorry.
You're getting off. You're really.
I'm still thrown by your rant. I'm just like, I'm frozen in time.
You're afraid someone's going to call the cops on me.
I feel that one day there's going to be bail money involved.
I'm telling you, keep that honey strapped to your leg. Any point in time, it could happen.
If only bail was still $100 at this point.
I don't know what it is today. I haven't been in prison for years.
Okay.
Or ever.
Oh, well, no, it's too late to add that part on.
Traditions,
yes. Who's the winner? I'm the winner.
Joy just almost threw a whole bottle of water on me.
It's not a whole bottle. Let's start there. Secondly,
I
have
plastic.
the reflexes of a cat.
Like
a black cat.
Ooh,
did you see that?
I got that.
Did you see what I did there? Black cats are...
What are they, Joy?
Well, first of all, they're hated on. I'm going to start there. But I feel like I'm jumping ahead. Maybe
I don't care. We don't have to go in any chronological order.
We're
not tied to the laws of physics.
I have a special love for black cats. I have 2 black cats. So I don't appreciate when people feel like black cats are, evil or bad luck or anything like that. But it does go back in time.
Middle Ages even.
Was it the Celts? I think it was their fault.
Why What?
No, maybe not.
No.
But anyways, I just wanted to blame.
All people started believing because it's technically Christians' fault.
So white people.
Well, Christians at that time weren't all necessarily white.
No, but the area that we're talking about, where all this is documented from, is Europe.
We already had taken this religion and bastardized it into the white religion it is today, where all you have to do is basically say that that's in the Bible or that's against God. But even though you're murdering people on the side and doing all the kinds of other things, you just have to say that you read it in the Bible or somebody told you once, and you're Christian.
But the full story is that back in the day, black cats were thought to be of the devil.
The devil.
And then, unfortunately, apparently some of the women who were killed as witches, because I'm not going to say that it's proven that they were witches, but nonetheless.
No, most of it was not proven.
Right. A lot of them had some black cats, maybe because they also love an underdog, but that's neither here nor there.
Maybe they're just cat people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. But, like, nobody loves black cats. They love black cats. So they're actually good people. They didn't deserve to die.
No.
Okay. Anyways, now that I've said
They
that.
thought they were the familiars.
The familiars of the witches. And it carries forward now. You know, you see pictures of black cats and everything, but it's supposed to be spooky. They're supposed to be spooky, yeah. So.
Yeah, and they were adored and treasured in Egypt.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
Thousands of years
before BC even.
Watch
so
out.
Let's just put it where it is. Times were better in BC. There was like 15 people on the earth.
Right.
You know, each of you had a kingdom. You know, your cousins. Everybody was related.
Right. I don't know. That's kind of a bad thing, though. So, like, who are you going to marry? Like, I'm going to marry my third cousin removed because, you know, he's the hottest of all my cousins.
But anyway, BC was better times. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm talking cave wall drawings. That was the good times, the good days. You might get killed by a dinosaur, but...
We were not at the same time as the dinosaurs. Anyways.
It's America, 2018. You don't have to believe in science or know anything.
Oh my God.
Anyway, traditions.
That's another podcast, kids.
But podcast.
Anyway.
So let's turn up.
Let's turn up.
Turnips.
Yes, jack-o'-lanterns. Do you want to tell the people about the jack-o'-lanterns since you mentioned turnips?
Jack-o'-lanterns originated in Ireland, but they were actually turnips instead of pumpkins.
Right.
So.
I wonder why turnips didn't catch on. You don't think that like turnip carving contests would really?
Well, I don't know if you know anything about Ireland or not, but
very little.
Potatoes and turnips. That's the crops.
Right, but I'm saying, why didn't we? My point was, we don't carry it forward. We could be out here carving turnips.
I only listened to half the things you say.
Exactly. That's what I said. You ruined what I just said. I had a brilliant moment. It was a funny ha-ha.
There's a picture of a dog.
I feel like the
dressed as
people
a
who
pope.
actually listen to our podcast were there, but you, who's on the podcast, don't ever fucking listen to what I say.
I cannot be contained. I am an evil spirit. Anyway, so a lot of the traditions from Halloween come from Celt, Ireland, Scotland traditions that were moved forward and brought over here to America and then bastardized.
Right, because they didn't even have Halloween then. They had, what is it called? Say the word for me.
Samhain.
You just went with a nice little, like...
I say it with the L.
Okay.
It's like like salmonella.
Uh-huh.
And I know that some people say Samhain, and some people say Samhain.
Samhain. Because people pronounce it the way it looks here in America.
Right.
Right, which is wrong.
Shout out to my friend Sinead, because if we pronounced her name the way it's spelt, we would just say Synod.
Synod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of Sinead. But, you know, that's the Gaelic of it all.
So, Samhain, which they aren't actually related, but I do feel that we've taken many things from Samhain.
Samhain.
I just always want to write it. I can't say it.
There's no point in. I mean,
I just know that I'm
you're
slaughtering
American.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and
we're
if-
American. We're allowed to butcher things.
I do actually apologize. Oh, wait. We're not.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Please leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay, we're distracted. Yes. So that tradition, which was during harvest time and is like around the time of Halloween,
Right.
yeah, like
It's the end of the year, technically.
mm-hmm.
It's when harvest is done and the year was wrapped around, and those traditions around when harvest happened. The end of the year happens is when things die, essentially. So obviously we didn't keep that going on because we changed the new year. But then again, back in the day there used to be 13 months, but
yeah, there's a lot of things different, but it was like this idea that again with the Christianization. Is that a word? I made it a word.
it's a word.
Okay, good. I can't even say it again. When Christianity
The
came
Christianness
along,
of it all.
a lot of, celebrations and times of the year, they just had to figure out how to work that in there. So, All Souls kind of was kept. I think the Catholic Church still uses that, don't they?
Yeah, it's a missionary type thing where they pray for the dead, right?
Yeah.
But it used to be like into November, and now it's
It did. It was like more days.
yeah. Now I think they only count the day after the first day of November as All Saints Day, right?
It's All Saints. Yeah, that's what it is. It's called All Saints.
But it used to be called All Souls Day, I believe.
Right, and it was more like near the 2nd of November. Or
Yeah,
later,
it's the 2nd of November.
Mm-hmm. So that's like the true beginning of traditions and how things got changed. It was like, let's take something that you already have and make it ours, and then bastardize all the stuff you do, and we'll keep this little piece and we throw that piece out, keep this piece, throw that piece out.
So
Like orange and black.
we're not going to get into where my head goes because Christianity exists because 2,000 years before Christianity was written, Egypt had the same things going on there. So they just stole from Egypt and created a religion. But go ahead with what you're going to say about orange and black.
So what I was going to say about orange and black was
Not just the show on Netflix.
not that. Not orange is the new black. Orange and black are Halloween colors. Come from Samhain, which is what I've just decided to call it. You know what I mean? Because black represented.
S Day. Just call it S Day.
Okay, S Day. The black represented death, as a time to, really honor the things that died and realize the cycle of life. We don't do cycles anymore.
No.
Only women. And orange represented harvest time. The colors of fall. So we've kept it orange and black, but I don't know if anybody really knows where it truly comes from.
No.
We just know it's orange and black.
Right. And people are fine with that because the simpler the better.
Mm-hmm. Why would you want to learn things?
You don't need to know traditions. Mm-mm. You don't even need to know history.
Nope.
Just do it because that's the way it was done in the 50s. And that's the way it was done whenever Ronald Reagan was president. And that's good enough for me.
Okay. He wasn't in the 50s, though.
No, but
I hear you.
I know that's what people used to say that when Ronald Reagan was president, the way it was in the 50s is better.
Okay.
And now people use Ronald Reagan era as a time whenever the world was better.
That's true. We're not even going to get into that. That is not even one show. That is a whole plethora of shows with crying and wailing.
I guess we do have to have do we have to have a political one? We are going to have. Anyway,
Let's
okay, so most things, not most things, but a lot of things do come from Celtic and Irish and Scottish religions, but there are some things that came from Rome.
Good.
Like bobbing for apples.
Okay.
That was a Rome type thing. Candy apples were also basically apple things.
But where did the peanuts come in is what I need to know.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I'm sorry, kids. I knew that would make him upset. I just thought I would ask that question.
So I had to buy some candy apples last week to dip into this. And they only had the ones, caramel apples, if you will, Affy Tapples, if you will, whatever the damn name of them. There's 400 different brands. Anyway, all the ones in the store were covered with peanuts.
Except we finally found some that were not covered with peanuts. The problem was
They were more expensive.
Yes.
So the anger inside me of
Yes.
having to pay more money for less products
Yes.
and less effort, because I understand basics of business, effort, time, product, the math behind why things cost more.
Right.
That is not true.
No, and you took it poorly, and on general principle would not get. We found what you wanted, but you no longer wanted them because you were not going to pay a few cents extra.
And I was not going to. And you know what happened the next morning when I actually had to go buy them at a different store? They had peanut covered ones and ones with sprinkles.
Wow, that's even worse. I've never seen them with sprinkles.
I haven't either. And who the fuck? But they did have plain ones sold individually. Again. For $2.50 when a whole 3-pack. No, it was this store had 3 packs, not 4.
Okay.
3-pack for $3.99.
And an individual one was $2.50. That was a lot more than the other
$2.50.
one, the other store we were in.
Yeah.
That is highway robbery. You know what? I have seen the sprinkles because some of the apples have chocolate and then crap on top of it as opposed to caramel.
What the fuck is going on in this world?
That's, people's all customization of it all.
If you know nothing from this podcast, you know that I am a very simple human being who likes
basic flavors,
basic stuff. I am a traditionalist in some ways. I do like things to be the way they were made. Why do you gotta fuck with my caramel apples?
I wouldn't if I made them. I would make them only with caramel for you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Do you have something interesting? Because I feel like I'm giving nothing but bitching to this podcast.
Well, sometimes that's what people are here for. But do you want to move on to costumes? Because I would love to tell you what I learned about costumes.
What'd you learn about costumes, Joy?
I learned that because ghosts were thought to be wandering the land during this time of year,
They do.
back in the day, people would dress up in costume so that they would not be terrorized by the evil spirits that were wandering. So it was like tricking you out, like, uh-oh, you don't see me. The next thing you know, we decided that would be a good excuse for us to wear as little clothing as possible in our costumes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean...
ta-da! I don't know if you can really trick a ghost if you're in, skin-clad, super tight leggings and, have your boobs spilling out. But that's just me.
I don't know.
Maybe you can trick a ghost that way.
I think you could trick a ghost, but I don't think you could trick a demon.
True.
There's a big difference between demons and ghosts.
But what if the demon was in the ghost?
That's impossible.
Do you really know that? Have you ever been a ghost?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
You're going to argue with me on this?
No, I don't want to argue about that.
So, ghosts are the spirits of people who have lived. Demons have never lived. They've always just been demons.
But if people can be possessed by demons, then you tell me why a ghost couldn't have a demon in it. Ta-da! Bam! Splat.
Because it's a caramel apple covered with chocolate. It's not my tradition, and I don't accept it.
Okay, because you say so.
Yeah. Bats. What about bats?
Bats are black. A lot of people are scared of bats.
Bats. Yeah, because and they're part of the Halloween because they used to have large bonfires, and they would attract a lot of insects, hence attracting a lot of bats because the bats want to eat the insects. And oh my God, they're spooky. I like bats though. I think they're cool.
Of course you do.
What?
I'm not saying anything. But anyways, because they had those fires, isn't that also why we have the candles now?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, this just seems like
I wish we had the bonfires instead. Like, what if that was our tradition? Is like just light as many bonfires all across town as possible.
We have rules against that. You can't burn things in city limits here.
Like that stopped us. But okay, I hear you. And
I mean, yeah, we had bonfires.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, we were breaking the law. But that's behind us all now.
sure.
We're divorced from that situation. We're moving on.
True. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be kind of cool. It would make me think of like Escape from New York. You know, when he's like riding through the town and there's like all these cars on fire here,
Right.
there, and the other, and like that's what I would think of when I think of like bonfires places. Because obviously you have to burn people's property in my head, not just
see.
wood.
Yeah, you go to a dark place there. I was really kind of expecting it to be more like a trash barrel fire or something like that's what you were going to say. But you were like, oh, no. Skip past trash barrel right on to property on fire.
I'm completely thinking Hell Night, The Crow. That's what I'm picturing in my head when you got like bonfires going everywhere. Like,
okay, that's your aesthetic. Got it.
light it up, light it up. Yeah, you know I like dark, black, and on fire.
Uh-huh.
So, interesting enough, though, the trick aspect of Halloween, the trick and or treat,
True.
came from my day, May Day. Was also known as Hell Night. It was like pranking. There was small little tricks they would do to people, and they brought that tradition as Mischief Night when they came to America, the Scottish and Irish people. So, yeah.
I thought about that though, and it's like trick or treat. Like when we say that when we go, when kids go trick or treating, I don't know. I know that in our tradition there was a time where if you didn't have candy or something to offer, because at one point you didn't even offer candy. It was like it could have been other things, right? Like other
Rice Krispie
gifts.
treats, cookies.
I didn't mean other.
Oh,
sweets.
you mean like actual gifts that they used to do? Yeah, I mean
Actual
that's the actual tradition. Yeah, so
Right.
we have to make it cheaper,
Of course.
but actually it's more expensive now.
It really is more because they up on the candy.
It's like $15 for a bag of candy.
I would rather
Good
like.
candy.
Didn't they used to sew? I will sew you a little doll or something and give you that. Oh,
Can you
that's my
imagine
treat.
sewing some little white kid a doll? That black woman gave me a doll.
They'd be like, "Watch out, it's a voodoo
It's a
doll."
voodoo doll,
We're gonna talk about that.
automatically,
Yeah,
yes.
talk about it exactly. Talk about that another day. But
I got
but
one doll.
my point was, I think that back in the day they really did used to do tricks on people, and now like the most we might do, even from my childhood, is if one house didn't give out candy, I think people would toilet paper it.
Right,
But
right.
no real tricks, if you will.
Did you ever TP a house?
I did not. You know, I lived in fear of my mother. Like,
I
we've
know.
discussed
You
this.
should have TP'd your mom's house.
I was the most boring, nerdy kid.
I never TP'd either, though, you know?
Is that right?
You know what I did, though?
Oh God, something worse. Did you?
Obviously.
Did you do the eggs? Did you throw
No,
eggs in
no, I
anybody's
would never
house?
do that.
Okay.
Never do that. That would not harm little chicken fetuses for anything. But what I would do is take maxipads, peel the sticky part off, and then put them on things. Like car windows.
Nice.
Especially on a rainy night.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I'd stick them on stop signs, car windows. I had a friend's sister. I covered her entire van with maxi pads.
Maxi pads aren't cheap, by the way.
No, and these were like at a gas station, so they were more expensive, and they were like the super extra large maxi pads
Of
for
course.
like a
I mean,
giant.
I assume it was like
was
the
the
pillow
90s,
ones,
yes,
like
there
the
was-
Always Super Plus.
Yeah, and then the box had been sitting in the gas station for 35 years.
Of
so it
course,
was
because nobody. Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So it was a little short of having like the elastic straps that they used to have on maxi pads. Do you remember those? You weren't old enough.
I
you're
wasn't
not-
old enough to use them. My mom talked about them.
Yes, so
Yeah.
like
They were
yeah.
her generation.
Yeah, they were literally sanitary napkins. Wow. So
That's horrifying.
not maxi. I guess I shouldn't say maxi pads because that's actually a brand, right?
It is.
They're
But
smaller.
It's sanitary
Sanitary napkins,
pads or whatever.
If you
is,
guys,
I think
if you all know what sanitary napkins are, they're jumbo.
they are usually very big. They're
They're
thick.
they're thick. They're used a lot more whenever like you have a baby and those types of things.
They are so
Vaginal things.
They are so uncomfortable. quick period story since we're on it.
Do it.
So I got my period, fortunately, at my house the very first time. We hadn't have anything in our house. My mom, I think, used Tampax, which were like huge cardboard, so uncomfortable. Not here for an 11-year-old, okay? So she goes to the store to get something, and she comes back with what you're talking about, these giant-ass pillows. First of all, they're long.
They're longer than the little... go up your asshole. There's no way.
Yeah, they're longer than the little vagina section of underwear, if you've ever seen women's underwear. So they go in front and in back, and then you have to walk a certain way because it's like it pushes your legs out.
Flip the sticky things around the sides.
Oh, my... Yeah. These didn't even have...
Oh, they didn't have the
there
wings.
were no wings. There were no wings. And so I remember I had a purse to put these in, and you could get like 7 in there, and then that was it for the purse. Like it was just sanitary pad purse.
And so then you switched to tampons.
Eventually, yes. But I've spent several uncomfortable months not knowing there was a better life out there. Because my mom was the only person showing me, and I think I remember if I was in a store or I asked them. I don't think I asked you that because I was devastated about having a period. Even though every woman does, but you have that like embarrassed thing. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean it's obviously something traumatic for most women.
But the point is, I can't imagine coming out to a van that is covered in these things. I mean, the investment that you went to defile somebody's property.
It was so much fun. And you know what? There was a stop sign that had it stuck to it for like the longest time, and then we just like watched it decay and fall away to where it was just like the sticky part was still there.
Oh no!
And it was like, it was like almost winter time. So, hey Roseanne, if you're listening, we've talked about the maxipad incident, and she's okay with it. I think she knew it was me, or her sister was with me. It wasn't like it wasn't like it was a shocker or anything like that. But have you done any kind of pranks at all ever?
Not really, other than like April Fool stuff. I've never done any real Halloween pranks or.
You obviously never called and pranked people.
Oh well, yeah, I have done that. I mean, I think everybody has done that in their like preteen years.
Oh yeah.
Like you and a bunch of girls, you call and I don't know, you ask for somebody's not there, and you just you hang up the phone. So
you didn't just like call and say "bitch" and hang up the phone?
No, it was more innocent. It was more like
I mean, yeah.
I know you think that's lame, but listen.
No, I mean it's perfectly fine. It just reminded me of a story that has nothing to do with Halloween. But,
okay.
It has to do with when I first got a bag phone for my car.
You and that bag phone. Go ahead.
And minutes cost $3.99 a minute to use it. And what I would use this bag phone for was pranking people. And so we would like sit across from a gas station and wait till people go inside, call the gas station and be like, hey, do you see that person back there? Oh, no, we'd be like, hey, is Joy in there? And they'd be like, who the hell's Joy? I don't know who that is. And we're like, oh, she's standing right next to the Mountain Dew section. And then you could like watch them be like, there's a phone call for you. And then that person would walk up to the phone at the front, and then we'd just yell asshole.
And hang up.
That's
amazing.
But I mean, it was like 1992, 93, 94. I mean, it was around there. But no one had cell phones then. So you would not be able to think that someone was, how would they, it's a double trick. Because like, how do they possibly know that this one person is in the store and where they're located in the store?
Hell, that might have been before people really had caller ID. Because that was like a slow rollout.
Oh, no. Yeah, it wasn't my area. They didn't have caller ID. All my phone calls on my phone were used to prank people.
And that was the amazing thing. But then once like Star 69 and caller ID, all those things came out, I was like, well, you can't prank anybody anymore. There's nothing pure. Okay, anyways, we moved very far from trick-or-treating.
Right.
But I guess we discussed tricks at length and not
treats, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really treats, though. Apples.
Oh, do you want to discuss candy corn? Because some people think that's a fucking treat, and I curse anybody who gives out candy corn. I didn't for trick-or-treating at the office. Do not bring that nasty ass cheap ass. There's a reason that shit's only $1 for 5 pounds of that shit. It's because it's nasty.
Didn't it used to be called chicken feed or something like that?
Ooh. Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah, it was. I understand, and I believe you've ranted about this before on our candy.
I may have.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But it's more appropriate now.
It's more appropriate now. So, I don't know though. I mean, would you be less offended if it was called like Candy Maize?
No, it's not the name. You know it's about the taste. It's nasty. And I feel like it's one of those things, I've heard multiple people talk about this. It's one of those things where you won't have it for a few years, and then somebody feels compelled to try it again. Like, maybe it's not as horrible as I remember. And then as soon as you bite into it, you're like, oh no, it's as horrible as I remember.
But I think it's like also addictive in some way, shape, or form. It's like
People who like to punish themselves?
it's like it's nasty, it's not a great. But I think we're singling out some of our listeners because I'm afraid.
You're afraid there's a big group of people who love candy corn?
Joy. I mean, it's literally sold year round. They now have like the harvest colored candy corn for Thanksgiving.
Okay, then I would like to use this moment as an intervention, because if you were out there, boys and girls, and you feel that candy corn is delicious, then I would invite you to send me an email at incognegras777@gmail.com, and we can have a back and forth, and I will save you from yourself, and I will help you understand that you were wrong.
And that was
incognegras
at gmail.
777
Oh, 777.
at gmail.com.
Because now we know there are more than one incognegresses.
No, I picked that number on purpose. Thank you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I have a thing for 7. Leave me alone.
Oh, okay. She likes astrological signs too. Yeah. Do you have any other traditions to talk about that you'd like to bring forward?
I don't know. I feel a little blocked by the whole candy corn issue, so bear with me.
I don't think we really got into the traditions this podcast. It kind of was a little more tangina, if you will.
I don't know if it was so much of a tangent. I mean, I feel like we didn't maybe go in so much into the history of things, but
No.
there's a reason for everything. If you want to help get us back on track, I will follow your lead.
There's a reason for the season, Joy. No, we're like 3 minutes over.
Now you tell me.
Yeah.
Well, kids, that's all we've got for today. Lovely chatting with you.
I hope all your Halloween traditions that you and your family have are as bastardized as everyone else's.
I wish you a Halloween without candy corn.
I wish you a Halloween where you actually sacrifice a human being.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is a birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.